Hello and welcome back to the Premier League Weekend Reaction Podcast. I'm your host, Gary. Ayo. And not joining me for the very first time is Alex, who claims to be ill. I don't quite feel sorry for him because he got ill on a stag do. Yes, yes. And that is the reason why we didn't have score predictions earlier in the week. And he maintains it wasn't drink related. So he does send his regards, and he wanted me to mention that. But it was a bit suspicious. Bit suspicious. Anyway, despite Alex not being here, we've got a short segment. We're just going to cover winners and losers of the weekend because you probably don't want to hear me rambling on for over an hour. So let's get straight into it. Winner of the week. Winner of the week. I usually start off with Alex. So it's kind of weird for me to start, but I've got a couple runners up, right? And the funny runner up is Timo Werner. Maybe I'm trolling a bit too much, but just seems that Werner has not scored in such a long time. And I bet if Chelsea fans are probably going to correct me, like he scored like 2 weeks ago. But the sheer relief that I saw in his face after scoring, because he had a horrid season last season, where like that £50 million price tag was some heavy pressure on him, really heavy pressure on him, and it seemed like he kept falling over whenever he had a one-on-one or a tap-in. So he scored. He got man of the match. So I believe that the funny runner-up is Timo Werner. The second runner-up is Huang Hee-chan and Wolverhampton Wanderers. Wolves, they struggled so much last season without Jimenez, and it was just great to not see them only have a impressive backup. I know he's only on loan, but it's impressive backup for Jimenez, but also someone that, we saw in the game against Newcastle what like good timing he has on his runs, and he looks good technically. He's good finisher. But on top of that, like you have two good strikers for Wolves, and what we additionally got to see was Jimenez. The other side of his games, we just associate him with expert finishing with his left or his right peg, or like headering the ball. But in this game, we kind of saw the other side of his game where he was able to feed in a striking partner in Huang, and he fed him through twice, got 2 assists, two lovely finishes, and Wolves are back up to 12th in the Premier League after winning 2 games on the bounce. So I'm going Huang Hee-chan and Wolves. But for me, without doubt, winner of the week is Mohamed Salah. Mohamed Salah. An inspired performance, really inspired performance against Manchester City. It was an amazing game to watch. Ended up with 1 goal and assist, which has got, everyone talking as to whether or not he is the best player in the world right now, which he absolutely, I think about it, he absolutely has that chance to be, because you've got two players really only that you were ever talking about it, and that was Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. But you see how much Messi is struggling at PSG. Ronaldo, he's doing well. He's definitely doing well. He's scoring almost every single game, but United are struggling. And he's just right at the top of his game at the moment. And we talked about it the other week, how fast he got to 100 first team goals for Liverpool was just insane. And the fact that the other reason that he's winner of the week, I have to say, is that I'm sure he's adding a lot of money to his next contract that he's currently negotiating with Liverpool as we speak, probably. As we're reporting, let me share my screen. Let's share screen. Yeah. That Mo Salah's contract is up in 2023 and he currently wants between 300,000 and 380,000 pounds per week. Yes, which would, yeah, absolutely break Liverpool's wage structure. I don't know what Sadio Mane is on, to be honest, because he would be the next person in line for a big payday, or Virgil van Dijk. But yeah, absolutely. It seems like Liverpool probably will have to break the bank for Mohamed Salah. I don't think the fans would at all appreciate Liverpool letting Mohamed Salah go. And whilst he's playing like this, he's and the performances that he's been putting in, and the performance that he put in against Manchester City. Let's talk about that goal, actually. That goal that he scored, where he looked like he just, he murdered everyone in his wake. It's like he was playing about with children in a five-a-side cage, on the council block, and he just absolutely twines everyone up. He left Bernardo Silva on his ass with that lovely piece of skill. He left Laporte on his ass, and he pinged it right off the post. Unfortunately, Liverpool couldn't get the win, but Mohamed Salah, he's just a dangerous man. So he goes as my winner of the week. Do let me know who you think your winner of the week is in the comments. And then we go into loser of the week. Loser of the week. Right. I was struggling with this. I have two nominees in mind, right? First one is Watford FC and their continuous sacking of managers. Give your managers a chance, goddammit. It's only 7 games. And they've got 7 points out of it. I know it's nothing to write home about, but that's a decent return for a team that's just come up. 4 points clear of the relegation zone. I get the performances of the last 2 games haven't been that good, but they dispatched Norwich, their main rivals, coming up with them in the Premier League, and they beat Villa on the opening day. So they haven't quite been underperforming. So I don't understand. It's like they give their manager just a couple of games in the Premier League, and just like, oh, if you haven't performed the way that we want you to perform, you're out. But I mean, they for me, a Premier League team that's come up 7 points out of 7 games, that's absolutely decent. And you probably want to give them a bit more time to implement their style. I appreciate that, he's talked about not having been tactically astute, but he hasn't been underperforming. And what? Actually, it reminded. I saw a really, really funny tweet last night, which I'm gonna share. Actually, let's see if I can find it. Let's find it. Share screen. I'm going back to sharing my screen. I like this a lot. This tweet here: Billy Dunmore. Watford every few months. Do you remember Kanye West having an absolute meltdown? I no longer have a manager. I can't be managed, which made me laugh because this is absolutely Watford's MO. This is what they love to do. They love to try out a manager, sack him, try someone else, and then rehire their old manager and then sack him again. So this is the crazy merry-go-round for Watford, and they get loser of the week. But then I thought about it. We have to turn Watford potentially into winners of the week. Maybe me from a personal standpoint, right? As they've appointed Claudio Ranieri, who is, well, in my opinion, the darling of the Premier League. Yeah, Premier League winner with Leicester City, of course. And he had impressive stints with Roma and Sampdoria, who were both in absolute turmoil. And he managed to stabilize the ship. So he's going into a situation where he has great experience of getting results. So I feel like he will steady the ship. Obviously, I'm not expecting him to do wonders like win the Premier League, which that's definitely out of Watford's reach. So, no Watford fans should get that exciting. You know what? You know what? I wasn't going to do this. I wasn't going to do this, but I have to share Claudio Ranieri. Just if people don't realize what a crazy, amazing man he is. All right. I don't know if you guys can hear this, but I'm going to play it anyway. I'm going to play it anyway because I love this man. I love him. I love him. He's the darling of the Premier League. So, um, winners, yeah, a loser of the week, but winners of the week in my mind because they managed to hire the darling of the Premier League. So that goes on to my second nominee of loser of the week, and it is Steve Bruce and Newcastle. I don't know, man. I don't know. I feel bad for Newcastle fans because it's been dire for an exceptionally long time, a really long time. We've gotten away with it because they stayed up last season, and credit is due for Steve Bruce, but never has the style of football been at all relatable to the fans of Newcastle. They remain completely a counter-attacking team, really. And they never seem to take the initiative anymore. So I remember Newcastle back in the day and how attacking and how exciting Newcastle were. They were in the Champions League and were they in the Champions League? I remember they were in the Champions League or at least the UEFA Cup. But man, oh man, those days are far, far, far gone. It's difficult as neutral to even get up and think about watching Newcastle on the weekend. So that small bit of pain, I feel that amplified to the Newcastle fans. And on top of that, yeah, they really can't defend at the moment, and they've conceded twice to Wolves, to a team that hadn't scored at home all season. Like, it gets pretty bad. That's how bad it gets. 3 points out of 7 games. So, and on top of that, I forget to mention this point. The reason why they are loser of the week is obviously the culmination of all of this, watching terrible football. 3 points out of 7 games, but the fact that they have a an owner in Mike Ashley who is just as stubborn. Like, I think he's the most pettiest, selfish owner that he gets stubborn the longer it goes. Like, oh, you're going to complain now? I'm just going to double down. I'm going to make sure Steve Bruce is in charge. I don't care if we survive by being out of the relegation zone on goal difference. That's if he could choose that, he probably would choose that. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know where to go with Newcastle. It's dire. They only got Joe Willock in the summer. They're going through a bit of a crisis. They don't seem to. They are taking a lot of shots on goal, but they're just counter-attacking and they can't defend. So I think I'm going to go with Newcastle as loser of the week. You let me know who your loser of the weekend is. I'm going to cut that short. Alex will hopefully be back after the international break once he finally recovers from the terrible hangover that he has. Thanks for being with us. Thanks for being patient. And we will see you next time. See you later.